Welcome back to the SDL2 in C. So for this lag, we're diving into collision detection. So you'll learn how to stop your player from walking through walls, so how to set up collision boxes, and how to combine animation with camera scrolling in the real game environment. So by the end of this log, you'll have a foundation for handling collision in your own 2D games. So let's get started. First is we're going to open the cmake list.txt and we're going to configure our cmake file. So cmake is the one who creates the executive profiles and handles the linking of the libraries that we needed. And then we're going to open the main.c file in the source folder or src. So inside the main file, we're going to import or include the header files or the library that needed. And then we're going to create the constants, which is the sprite size, frame count, frame delay, and character speed. And then we're going to define the direction enum. So we're going to define the sprite animation row depending on the direction. And then we're going to create a helper function that will check the collision between two rectangles. And we're going to utilize the built-in or the SDL built-in function, which is the SDL has intersection or intersection. This function will help to check the two rectangles if they are overlapping. And then inside the main function, we will going to initialize the SDL init video. And if it fails, we're going to print error messages. And then we're going to initialize the image for PNG. So if ever this, if ever the initialization is fails, we're going to print the error message. Now we're going to create a window using the SDL create window. And then we're going to create a renderer using the SDL create renderer. Now we're going to load the assets, which are the character and the background. So if it fails, we're going to print error messages and clean up, then quit. Now we're going to have the background size and then the source for the player, and then the player or the character, and then the player or the character position in the world space. And then we will going to initialize a camera. So here we're going to create a wall based on the world coordinate that we just created. Now we're going to have a main loop. Inside the main loop, we have an event loop. So we will going to read the state of the keyboard. So here we will going to store the old or the previous position of the character that we have. So this position is for the collision to roll back the position of the character. Now we're going to create a character box. So this box is the collision box for the character or the player. Now we're going to check the collision with all the walls. So here we're going to loop the wall that we have, which is we have two walls. And then we're going to use the helper function that we just created, which is the check collision. So we will going to have the character box and the wall. So if the box and the wall collide to each other, the character will restore the position or the old position of the character. Now we're going to animate the frame. So this one is the animation between the two frames. And then here we will going to have a camera. So the camera will follow the character in the center. And then we're going to clump the camera inside the world that bounds the character. And then we're going to have the character or the flare position relative to that camera. Now we're going to render the world, and then we're going to clear the screen first, and then we're going to render the background and the camera, and then second we're going to render the character sprite and its position. Now we're going to draw we're going to render or draw the boxes or the wall, and then lastly we're going to clean up or destroy the things that we just created, so that we need to pre-up all those resources that we used. And that's it for this log on collision detection in SDL2 in Z. Now your player can move around the map, bump into walls, and the camera keeps everything in view. So thanks for watching, and I'll keep you in the next lesson, and we'll keep building our 2D game step by step.